Hello and welcome back to Marine for TCG. My name is Joe. Drink of the day is a Tenzing Peach and Honey Melon. It's a new flavour, really quite nice actually. And very sweet, but very subtle. Anyway, Lim has gained quite a few new tools actually in OP13. And she low-key has a pretty good matchup into Emu. So one of the big selling points of Lim at the minute is, well, Lim is a deck that has always loved going first. And that's not really any different now. However, what is different now is the two best decks in the game, Ace and Emu, both really want to go second. So having a deck that's not only happy, but also kind of prefers going first into both of those is really quite good. Also, ramping to 9 cost Zoro is just incredibly powerful at this moment in time. Into Emu, you get this out like way before they get to their 10 cost, which is crazy. And into Ace as well, you play this before they can play their Whitebeard blocker. So it's cool, they can block one swing, but what about the other two? The new cards that you've gained from this set, first of all, the Shanks. Very small, weird, technical thing. After you play the Shanks, you can actually still use your leader effect to play cards. I don't really understand why. I think it's something to do with the Japanese not translating perfectly to English. But we'll take it in a deck like Lim, because it means you can slam the Shanks, get all your Dons back. You don't care that he's tapped because he's a bloody 10-12. And then you can play out another character. Maybe you want to play out like a Mihawk to restand your guy and attack again. You can play that out with your leader effect still, which is quite good. The other new card we've gained is the Sanji. This is fine. It's a 3/7 essentially. When you're on the first curve, even the second curve, this is very, very helpful on the third turn. Previously, you'd play like a guy on 3 or 4, and then you'd end up on 6 or 7, and on that turn, you'd want to play the 3-cost Lim, and then use your leader effect to fill out your curve. Well, if you didn't draw the 3-cost Lim, it was a little bit awkward. So this Sanji can sort of act as extra copies of this. You lose a card draw. I mean, he doesn't restand himself, but he is a big guy, right? He's just a big guy. It's kind of fine. Not been super impressed by this guy, and I'm actually going to make a very, very small change now. I'm going to cut him for a third copy of DMG, because this card's so awesome for this deck. You can't even play Odeon them, because it comes in rested, which is miserable. But the addition of DMG from OP12, like, you'll see in some of these games, going Zoro into Shanks into DMG, it's like, bro, what is your opponent supposed to do? This Odyssey stuff almost doesn't even matter at that point. If you play this into this, and then on the following turn you have the DMG, you can swing with the Shanks, you can swing 3 times with the Zoro. It's ridiculous. 3 Hell's Judgment, mainly for the Zoro matchup, but it does actually come up quite a lot in other matchups. When you stand the Shanks, because you're going to have so many Dons, like sometimes you just don't need them to swing, and keeping a couple Dons up for Hell's Judgment, this is the most efficient event in green or purple in terms of cards to counter ratio, and also just has the side effect of just being really, really good into green Zoro, which is brilliant, because that is one of the matchups I think is more difficult with this deck. Because whilst we restand a lot of our guys with like the 1-cost Lim and Doffy, Zoro just rests them again, so you lose a bit of value. So the Hell's Judgment is quite clutch. In terms of matchups into the big 3, I do still think Zoro is the most difficult of them. If you don't see the Hell's Judgments, or if they just see enough, it can just get out of control because they're able to play board and life. And we are only a 4-life leader without too much extra draw. However, into Emu, I think you are favoured, especially if you see Zoro. And into Ace, I've been enjoying that matchup too as well. The Whitebeard blockers can get a little bit annoying. And also a pretty nice play you can do where if they are on evens, as they're probably going to want to be, you can play this Nami as they go into their 8-Don turn, and they can't do event into Whitebeard, which is brilliant. Would I prefer to play Zoro on that turn, because that is the same turn that you'd be playing Zoro? Yes, almost certainly. However, if you don't have the Zoro, or you know they've got Red Rock, then the Nami is actually a pretty cool alternative. Either way, I think Lim is actually in the best spot she's been for a few sets now. These couple of new additions in the Shanks, the Sanji, and the DMG really do help. And also the meta just sort of coalesced really nicely for a deck that really wants to go first and ramps to Zoro to just be a really appealing option at the moment, as you'll sort of see in some of these games here. Going into Emu, this ain't too bad. The Lim's nice, the DMG's good. I do like a Nell early. He's strong. Doffy's okay. I think we keep this because I see the 1-cost Lim and something decent to play next turn. I think we just keep it. I think we do. The Enel's very strong. It can dig us towards things like the Zoro. And just more good plays. Does use the Searcher event. Grabs a Marcus Mars. Marcus Mars is very good. Another Searcher event. Another Marcus Mars. I'm not sure I care for the second one so strongly. I think the event could have been a good grab there. But alas, it is what it is. We'll go 5. And then I will play the... We can play the NL next turn. So we go with the Doffy this turn. He can't attack into board at all. Whereas if we play the NL, he can attack 6. Will he attack 6? Probably not. But I don't mind just playing the NL next turn, I think. Cool. Yeah, and if he just goes 5, we get the free block as well, which is fine. Next time we have a Nell into something, I'd love to see another 3 costs. The Sanji would be good off the top, or if we don't see the Sanji off the top, it has to be the 3-cost Limb. But at the end of the day, just putting Dons on Doffy and swinging big, it's not too bad. It's really not too bad. Just grab a 10 cost. Doesn't even bother swinging. He's just going to starve. It's fair. Sarbo's cool, but I think I do prefer a Nell. We're going to see a Marcus Mars next turn anyway, which will blow up our Sarbo regardless. So we'll go with the Nell. It's a little annoying that we need to attack this Doffy first. Because if we draw the Limb, I'd obviously really like to play that. But if not, I'd prefer to go 7-7. So that is a little bit annoying. I guess we can swing with this, because this is going to restand anyway. He gets to swing into this. I guess we can do the sequencing kind of shit. Just to sort of make up for it if we draw the 3-cost Limb. Zoro is brilliant. Don't really... Zoro into Shanks is just strong, right? It's just strong. I'll ditch the Sabo here. Sabo and Mihawk, maybe? Probably is Sabo and Mihawk. Here we go, Zoro on 9 into Shanks. Swing, swing, swing. We got the DMG. He's starving as well. I think this is fine. And yeah, now we can go 7-7, which is obviously better than 6-8. Might get a damage here or 2 cards either way. Pretty good. Pretty damn good. Cool. We'll end the turn. This stands up. Do I want to restand this or the Enel? He's going to Mars this turn. If we restand the Enel, he takes out a Limb, but it stops him attacking into the Enel, so we keep the Enel. I think that's better. If we keep the Limb, because this... He's going to blow this up. If we keep the Limb around, it's not restanding much. I can't lie. I'm going to restand the Enel. Yeah, sequencing slightly weird there. Maybe you should have just gone with the safe 7-7 and not tap the Limb in the first place, but here's what it is. Does get rid of a Stussy. Ooh, gets rid of a Stussy. To be fair, it's kind of slow. Yep, absolutely. I don't think this swings. If he would have swung last turn, if he really was going to go aggro, I think. Nope, I lied. Incredible work. We'll take that there. It's great. Definitely take that there. So he shouldn't be able to deal with our Zoro. Which is just going to go super hard. VV blocker, that's a pretty good one. That is a pretty good one. Let's go 5. Blocks immediately. Incredible. I'll take that. I will take that. We'll go 6 here. Gonna sack the blocker. I really was expecting a 2k there. I guess he's playing around DMG. Interesting. Yeah, like if he goes 13 here, we've got the count. It's no problem at all. Not a problem at all. He can't really do anything else that's too powerful this turn. Nostra will be okay. Reduce it to 7. But it'll cost him a bunch of dons anyway to attack into it. So double blockers might be what we see. War Curie, maybe 4 don for another War Curie. And we do actually have the DMG though. 8 to a Nell. Think we should defend this. I think actually. If we defend this, we get more aggression, which is great. I don't really want to DMG this turn. I guess we can, like, rest this with Ace. DMG is definitely next turn. We're definitely playing Shanks this turn. I think we just let this go. What if he does Stussy? No, if he does Stussy next turn, he's, like, basically dead. I think we need the counter to defend our Zoro next turn, because he's going to have the Nostro. It's going to be at 7k, and he's going to be able to debuff us to 7. So I think we need all the counter we can get. Unless we leave it upright. Another VV, okay. Sure. Sure thing. Let's slam this. Immediately. How big do we want to swing? I think I do want to develop the Ace, just because it can rest one of these. Probably the Walkyrie, because it draws a card when it goes down, which is fine. 3 for that, 3 for restanding. Do like a whole bunch of 9s. Probably not better off just not swinging 9 with this though, and swinging big with these. Big with this guy. Shit, let's lose this. Let's use this. Imran rested. Play out the Ace. Rest this. Then we'll swing for 5. Don't really care about keeping one up for the DMG, because we're not going to die anyway. $13. Locks. 13. Takes. Let's do the math. We're definitely going to restand this. Let's do the math. He's going to 10 cost, obviously. If he goes with the Nostro, he'll have 6 Don remaining. Nostro's at 7. Reduce this to 7 at base. He could put, like... If he puts all 6 Don on, it's swinging 13 into 7. Which we don't actually have the counter for. So we should leave this standing. Next turn, regardless, we have the DMG to rest the 2 blockers. We have a Shanks as well, and this can swing 3 times. I think we're chilling. I think we are chilling, as the kids would say. I don't think I want to swing with this again. If we do swing with this and it dies, we're in trouble. Yeah, we can be in trouble if this dies. So let's just leave it upright. Tough call, though. Tough call. And the Nostro is so powerful. He's such a cool guy. Not. I don't like him. He's scary. 5 to 5. This is just going to go down anyway. There's no point defending this. Absolute waste of time. Because he's got the leader swing. He's got the Nostro swing. It's just going to die. It's whatever. This is going to draw a card. He can just kill this. Have 8 cards in hand. After the thing, he's going to have 7, right? And the events have gone. What did he trash? He trashed a stage. Yeah, it's pretty useless. 3 events gone. That is a searcher. That is not useful. Bad find off the Saturn. Plays it. Seems good. 3k event. Okay. Touch concerning. He does have to defend some really fucking big swings this turn, right? We're just going for it next turn. We are just going for it next turn. There's no world in which we live another turn. So we may as well just take all of these. Literally just doesn't matter. So we're just going for it. If he has another VV blocker, that would low-key be annoying, but he's already used 2. So I think the odds of him having another one. We can make him return a Don. Do I want to make him return a Don? I don't think so. No. I don't think I care for that. Yeah, if he has another VV blocker, that would be low-key be annoying, but he doesn't have another VV blocker. 4 Don open. We've seen 2 of these. We know he has this. They're usually on... He might have 3 more events. They're usually only on 2 of the Equilibrium. Regardless, we are going with the DMG for certain. Rest this and this. Then 3 done for that, so it's just all 12s. Yeah, it's just all 12s. Let's go 5. And then we've got 4 12s. If that's not enough, you know, it is what it is. If that ain't enough, then I'm cooked, I guess. But yeah, he's got a count of 3 12s, which I think it's possible. But it's also just not very likely. You know, it's not very likely. Yeah, and he just leaves, okay. Yeah, it's not even close. Not even close. Only had 2 events. Let me work it out. If he had 4K, 4K, actually, it's 4K, 4K would get him out of 1. Then as all the 4K, so say he has 3K, 3K, 2K. No, it was actually a math win there. That was actually a math win. I'll take it. You can see the power there of the Nikos. Sorry, it's so powerful. And the 10 cost Shanks is also brilliant in this deck. Some really good cards. And don't sleep on the DMG as well. Very, very important card. We're going to give him to Zoro, and he has given us first, which is an interesting choice. Really looking for that 1-cost limb in this matchup. We do find it incredible. This is just so important because otherwise he just gets to kill all of our guys without even working for it, right? He's the king of rest at the best case, at the best of times, but yeah, Koshiro, don't really care. We'll swing for 5. Then we'll just play out the Sabo. Lim can restand the Sabo. It's brilliant. Next time we've got Lim into another Sabo. We're going to get draws. We're kind of cooking. And we've also got both the Hell's Judgment and the DMG for later, which is brilliant. This is shaping up to be a very strong opening. And he does take the first swing as well, which is, again, interesting. If he doesn't have the Queener, he can rest the Lim. Doesn't have the Queener, though, just a Zoro. It's still a strong play. Still a strong play, no doubt. But the fact that we get to keep the Lim is great. Yeah, and we'll just take this 8, of course. Nothing doing there. We've got something to ramp to, I guess. We can play the Zoro next turn. Do I really want to? Not overly, because he can just swing into it. But I guess it does kill him quite fast, you know? Let's go with a 5. Then we'll go Lim into Sabo. I think going a little bit more mid-range this game is going to be good. I do. Takes again. Very aggressively taking. Interesting. Let's go with the Lim. Because we need 3 rested characters for this. Mihawk's strong, and that is 2 of them. Don't mind a Nell. I think this turn we are going with a second Sabo, because he can only take out 1 of them. Likely. Yeah. No, certainly. Certainly. We can defend 1. So I think we take the Mihawk here, because he's actually been quite greedy with the takes. Yeah, let's take the Mihawk here. Game 1, we'll play out the Sabo. Swinging for 6, draw a card. 2k is brilliant. That's just what I wanted. And you got to imagine he's going to counter one of these hits eventually. You got to imagine. Does give us a scratch mana poo there. Okay. Then we'll end the turn. This one first, and then reset one of the Sabos. Doesn't really matter which. 6 Don, expecting this could be Law. If it is Law, at least he's not swinging for very much with any of these. And if it is just like 5-8, I'll probably kind of want to defend those both. But we will lose on Mihawk, which is something to be said for that. There is the Law. Is this Tashigi? It is Tashigi. Incredible work. As anticipated. Ooh, rests that one. Okay, going for that. I respect it. Probably going to swing the Zoro into that then. No, he's going to swing the Koshiro. The fact that you swung that is quite interesting. If we defend this, this goes here. If I don't defend this, this goes here. Doesn't really matter. I think I want to defend my Sabo from this leader swing. Having this around is... We're never going to save this. I think we're just getting rid of all of these regardless, so let's just let it go. We'll defend the 5. Just on the... Yeah, it's kind of neither here nor there, I think. We'll definitely defend this, though. And then I'll defend the 5 as well. Yeah, I don't want to go down to one life. It's too risky. Too risky. We'll sit at 2. It's fine. Yeah, don't forget to restand. Yeah, that's fine. We get 2 draws a turn now if we can keep these Salvos alive, which is brilliant. Are we going to be able to keep those Salvos alive? Another story, but yeah. Can we protect this? Not really. If we play this, he will just swing big into it, and it will die. So I think we go more mid-rangey. I think it's better. The DMG is going to be good for defending this. I think we potentially want to keep 2 Don up for the Hell's Judgment this turn. Maybe we could go Limb plus Doffy. Let's see what the Limb gets us, because if we get something like Mihawk or a Nell, that'd be kind of good. We don't. Do get another Sabo, though. I like this guy. He's kind of cool. Or we can just have the blocker guy. Or we could just take a 2k. Actually, don't mind the 2k here. Yeah, let's take the 2k. We'll play out the Doffy as the blocker. We'll have a 2k in hand. We'll have the Hell's Judgment, which is pretty good. So that's going to cost 3 for leader effect. 2 for Judgy. 1 Don left. Would he DMG? Maybe. Maybe he would. We could probably just swing 5s, to be fair. Let's go 5. We'll do these Sabo swings first before playing anything else. Because it could change our lines, right? It could change. Takes that. Let's go 6. Oh, another DMG. Okay. Interesting. Let's give us a 2k there. I'll just keep a bunch of Dons open. Yeah, I think just playing the... I think just playing the Doffy here is fine. Ah, it's a bad card to draw. I didn't want that one. Definitely not. Now, do we want to pop the Kosh? Or put him to 1? I think putting him to 1 is actually pretty reasonable. Or he can counter. No, he does go to 1. And we use the leader effect. Come on, rested, play out Doffy. End the turn. Limb effect, Doffy effect. All of the boys stand up. Incredible work. Now, he's only on 8 Don. He doesn't actually have too much to play with. But does have 4 swings. We do have to protect our life in the first instance. We've got a good shot at going for lethal next turn with the DMG. It's Zoro. They don't play a lot of counter. 7 to 5. I want to Judgment of Hell this, I think. Yeah, this is a good one to Judgment of Hell, I think. We get out of that swing and we get the debuff on the leader, which is very, very important. If he DMGs now, it's not ideal, but it's going to cost him 4 Don, right? So he can't really use a restand event, especially with the debuff. So can't really afford to DMG. So our Doffy will be able to potentially help out as well in defending one of these, and our extra Don can be used for another DMG, which is also great. Okay, how much is this? This is 7. It's Lowkey not even that good. This is restand. He's threatening what, 5, 7, 6? It's terrible. Genuinely terrible. We can probably defend this. Yeah. I guess it's 7-7, right? But we've got the DMG to get out of one of the 7s, so it's kind of chill. 7, I will just let that go. That's fine. The blocker is slightly more important. We'll even swing this. I'm not convinced. This can still restand and swing 7 lead, but it can't swing into this Sabo, which is important. We can take this is only swinging 5. This isn't swinging at this point. It doesn't really matter, right? No, we take this. We're supposed to... Fucking hell, that's miserable. We take this in case he was to swing 6 into the Sabo. I was hoping to get a 1k. It's obviously not going to happen now, though. Sure, just take the free block. I doubt this law swings. I do doubt this law swings. But you never know. Yeah, he doesn't swing. I think that's... It's fair, but we do have the DMG. Rest these. And then it should just be 7, 7, 7, 5. Yeah. Start with 5. Then we can do all 7s from here. We'll swing with the Doffy next and then the Sabo. No, swing with the Limb next because 0 cost trigger can rest Limb. Yeah, I was saying swing with the Doffy because then we have more Dons to potentially play like a Mihawk if we draw exactly Mihawk. But I think playing around 0 cost trigger is more important. So we're going to get 1 draw with this guy, don't forget. Let's take that 7. No, we didn't draw Mihawk anyway, so who gives a shit? Yeah, and that's the game. He had a lot of resound events. Killed him on his 8th on turn. I'll take that into Zoro. He did pretty well as well, right? Got the Mihawk very early. Didn't find Kuina, which was really, really big. The 1-cost Limb was insane. The Judgment of Hell absolutely came up. I think he took aggressively early, but if this was his hand early, like if his hand was full of these events and shanks, then that would make a little bit of sense as to why he did that. Yeah, and I think getting that extra 5 at life towards the end there, rather than blowing up the Koshiro, was the right play as well. Because we had the DMG guaranteed. I thought this would be one of our more difficult matchups, and I still think it should be. He should have definitely took first. I have no idea why he gave me first. But regardless, half the time you're going to get to go first anyway, because you're going to win dice. But yeah, I'll take the win. Good game against Zoro there. Got over to Ace. We are going first. No 1-cost Limb, but Sabo into something like Sanji Sabo or Limb Sabo. Both pretty good. Decent curve. I think I'll keep. Yeah, no 1-cost Limb, it always sucks, but when they're on evens, he really will want to play that Marco on 4. And if we can draw another 2k next turn, which you never know, we can actually even defend the Sabo from 9k swing. Which, yeah, even if he doesn't have the Marco, he might choose to play out like Searchers, and then it's only 8k, and it'll all add up, it'll all work out, you just have to believe. Or something like that. Izo comes down, of course, very nice. I do actually prefer going second in this matchup, I must say, because you get to swing 6 every turn. When you're on this odd curve, you don't get to swing in the early game with your leader, which is a little sad. Actually, Bay, I was on this a while ago. I think this is a little outdated in Ace, but it's not a bad card, right? I think generally the Thatch or the Jozu are your better options. Interesting to see if we see him bother putting the Don on the leader. I think he can be pretty sure we're not swinging this turn, so if he has more searchers, he'd be better off just using another searcher for sure. Just passes. Definitely should put the Don on the leader. Just forgot there, but it actually really doesn't matter, because we're just going to do this. Incredible. Play out Sabo. Now, we did actually draw another 2k as well, which is quite beautiful, so if he doesn't have the Marco, we can defend this Sabo to start drawing cards. When these Sabos start drawing cards, ooh, it's so good. Next time we have the choice between the Limb and the Sanji. I think I prefer the Sanji into Ace, especially going first, just to get that bigger guy down, because he can swing. The Limb, while she stands up, she can't swing, which is not great. She's also a nice searcher. I would prefer to play something like Enel instead of Sabo to dig us towards cards like the 9-cost Zoro and the 10-cost Shanks. But looks like we do see the Marco come down, and then we're just going to see 6 somewhere. 6 here, incredible work. I guess we could go Sanji Limb. That kind of feels bad, though. I think I will give up a 2k here. And as such, I think the Nami is definitely the worst one. Although there is something to be said about the Nami freezing his Don as he goes into 8. I actually think I should have kept the Nami there, actually. I've changed my mind. I think I should have gave him the Usahachi. kept the Nami, because next turn, if we don't draw the Zoro, this Nami's actually a really good play to deny Whitebeard. Yeah, I think that was a mistake there. Just match up in experience, really. So we're going to be playing out this Enel. Again, I do think I want the Sanji more than the Lim. We can Enel ditch the Lim, which is fine. Now we'll go with this. Restand 2. Then go with this. Game 1 rested. Play out the Enel. These are fine, I guess. I think I'll ditch the Lim and the Judgment of Hell. Then we'll swing for 6, draw a card. Well, I guess we replaced our Judgment of Hell. Yeah, really should have kept that, what's his face? The Nami. Really should have kept that. That was a big mistake, actually. Now that I see that we drew the Enel, but then didn't draw anything good off the Enel. Definitely should have kept that. Yeah, definitely should have kept that Nami, because it would have been a nice play this turn. Next turn, I guess we can hold up some Dons for Hell Judgment, which is kind of nice. But yeah, start this game, neither insane nor terrible. Very, very mid, I would say. We got solid curve, but no one cost Lim. We don't have a Zoro to play on 9. So it's, I don't know, it's 6-1. 6-1. Having Sanji down's quite nice. And if he does have Jozu, which is probably his best play, doesn't have anything good to pick up, because he did just toss off that Izzo, which maybe signifies that he doesn't have Jozu. So could have something like the 5-cost Yamato. Speak of the devil. And and it will appear. It does get to draw 2, puts it on his leader. So we can potentially swing 8 into Sabo. And then 6 into Sabo. I'll defend it, I think. I'd love if he just swings 7 into Sabo. Or swings anything at leader. That'd be a treat. I'd love to draw a card right now. I would love to draw a card. But we are going to have some pretty good pressure this turn, even though he did draw like 54 cards. Which, you know, it is what it is. What can you do? The fact we have the DMG means I'm pretty happy tossing Usahachi. Don't think he's going to be too relevant. He's like okay this turn. But also this ace is kind of a side grade, right? Ooh, goes with the Otama, so we're just going to see 7. Probably not going to swing the Marco. That saves me a card, that's great. I guess he didn't have the Whitebeard combo. But did just toss off an event. I love seeing that come down, though. He wanted to guarantee that Whitebeard combo. But in doing so, we're saving a card, which is incredible. And I have to assume this is going to swing into board still. Yeah. It probably is. The ace probably is worse. Let's get rid of him. I don't think this Marco attacks. It could, but I feel like he might want to block, especially if he still doesn't have the Whitebeard combo. Find out next time on Dragon Ball Z. If it does attack, I'll defend, obviously. We can't let our board go down. We are Lim. We are the king of please don't kill my board. Opponent does swing with the Marco. Swings leader. Absolutely, sir. Thank you for the card. What a treat. Doffy. Yeah, this is where that Nami would come in really good from earlier, right? The Nami that I was talking about. That would have been a brilliant, brilliant play this turn. Because we can just deny the Whitebeard blocker, and from there we just kind of win. So the fact that I kept this Usahachi over the Nami, big mistake. However, this turn I think we are just going to look to apply as much pressure as possible. I'll keep up 2 for the Hell's Judgment, just so that we have some defense for our board. Because he will play Whitebeard next turn. We have the DMG, though. So if we can get him down to 1 here, I mean, that would be incredible. Let's work it out. I would still quite like to play one thing with our leader effect. And I think it will be the extra Sabo. I think it's the extra Sabo. Yeah. So if that is the case, we have, what, 4 more Don. One of them's definitely going on leader. Let's start with that swing. Because he's always going to counter this. Always going to counter this. 3 for that. 2 for Judgment. Do we need the Judgment? I think we do. If we want to save everything, I think we need the Judgment. And I do want to save everything. And I also want to develop one more cat. Wow, he takes that first 6. That's a little wild. Well, he still didn't use his leader effect, so I guess it's 6, 6, 9 at this point. What if we just don't develop a character? If we just keep 2 for the heli? And go like 8, 8, 9. That's pretty good aggression. We get like 2 cards, and then do 1 damage. You'll have 6 cards, 7 cards, play out the Whitebeard, go down to 5, go back to 6. No, I think developing another guy is good. I think developing another guy is good in the Sabo. He's not going to attack this Marco next anyway. It's just going to be 8-8, which Judgment of Hell is great for. Yeah, we can still go 2, 3. We still go 8-8-6. 8-8-6 versus 8-8-9. It's like not that much worse. And we get to develop another guy who can even just help us go for longer. We don't have to just go all in on the DMG next turn if we make this play. So I think it's better. I think it's better. Yeah, give up the tax bid. Fair. Very fair. Let's go 8. Then we'll go 8 again. He'll probably defend this, fearing like 10. Also, if we draw Mihawk, that's way better than Sabo, obviously. I'd maybe play it in Nell instead as well. Pudding and a Whitey Bay. Cool. Yeah, let's just go 8 now. Another DMG. I mean, I guess we can DMG twice in a row. It's kind of that's kind of cute, actually. I kind of like that. Yeah, but I guess we are going with the Sabo here. That's fine. He counts again, so he does get to stay at 2. It gives us a lot of counter there. How many 2Ks is that? That's 1, 2, 3, 4 gone. It's pretty good. I'll take it. Then we'll play out the Sabo. So we're not going to win next turn, but because we got 2 DMGs, we can kind of just do it twice in a row, which is really strong. And we're not going to lose many cards this turn because of the Hell's Judgment. We do have to be careful that we don't die. Though. Always a concern. Always a concern. He's already wondering what the fuck this 2's done for. No Whitebeard combo. Oh, my days. My boy is not having a good time. That's tough. Gets to pick up the Jozu and I guess bounce the pick up the Yotana and bounce the Sanji. I thought he'd bounce the Sabo because he's draw cards. But I guess he can attack these easier. And in that case, we don't even need to necessarily DMG, right? We can just build more board and keep going. Because there's no Whitebeard, so there's not really any danger. Which is brilliant. Really, really brilliant. Also, if we see 8 into 6, that's still just a brilliant number for Judgment of Hell. Would be incredible. Because we can also debuff this Yamato, so it can't swing. And I don't think the Marco swings regardless. I would be very surprised if this Marco swings. So I expect we'll see either 7 or 8 with leader. And I'll probably just use the Judgment of Hell regardless. Because if we don't, then this Yamato gets to swing as well. Which ain't great. 7. 7 here. Yeah, we'll just Judgment of Hell. Debuff this. Resolve. We just get out of both swings for 1 card, right? And now I don't have to leave 2 Don open every turn. It's also lovely. It's also lovely. I'm beginning to draw 2 cards a turn. We can just go so long, man. It's crazy. It's really, really good. I'm really enjoying this deck. This deck's a lot of fun. Ain't no way this Marco's swinging, bro. No way this Marco's swinging. But, like, even if he had the Whitebeard combo, I think we're equally in a really good spot. Because, like I say, we can DMG the Marco and the Whitebeard. We have the exact same play, the DMG. He gets swing 5, the Yamato leader. And I'd probably just defend up. Sure, we draw an army there. I don't think I want to play that because the event exists. And we saw him toss one earlier, so he probably has another one in hand. So I don't think this actually does anything. This 1 Don will be Rad Beam. So swinging low here is good because he actually has quite a low hand size as well. The ace is low-key not bad though. We could play out the ace to just rest the Marco. If you do like 3 Don for Sanji, 3 Don for ace, we get a good amount of aggression at face. And like this still ain't swinging. I don't care what you say, this still is not swinging. I actually kind of like that play. Because we continue to develop more and more board. Just rest down this Marco. Then these can draw straight away. So we need 1 on leader. Maybe we'll keep like a Don open for a DMG just in case. Probably don't need to though. Let's start with 6 from Sabo. Mihawk's great for next turn. That can potentially be a play. If we don't need the DMG, for whatever reason. He uses his leader effect already. That's brilliant. So now we can actually swing 7s meaningfully. So yeah, we'll go 7 here. Give us a lot of 2Ks as well. Guess it doesn't really matter what order we go in. Yeah, we'll just draw again. Another Mihawk. Okay. Okay. Clearly didn't have many 1Ks last time. We know he has that Otama as well, right? Yeah, we know he still has the Otama. So I think 6-8 is definitely the move. We'll go 6 with an L. 8 with leader, and then I'll just keep 1 on up for Dead Man's Game. We'll get him down to 1 here at least, and then we've just got a full board, and we can defend a lot of it. I do believe. I guess if he does have the Rad Beam, he can defend out of this as well, but then he has literally 1 card in hand. So that presents its own issues, right? Yeah, it does take. Yeah, we'll end the turn. We've got 1 done over for DMG. We've got 4, 5, 6, 7k in hand. He has to play some kind of blocker. Otherwise, I'm pretty sure he just loses on board. He cannot kill us because we have DMG open. And a loft counter, indeed. So, I think we're in a good spot. I don't see a way for us to lose, really. Famous last words, I guess. Yeah, like even if we lose 1 guy, right? Even if we lose 1 guy, we've still got 5 swings next turn. 6 with the Mihawk, which is crazy. It's crazy good. And if this is Whitebeard, as I'm expecting it may well be Whitebeard, we can rest down the Marco, rest down the Whitebeard. We're gaming. We are gaming. I'll probably end up letting this ace go if he swings like Jozu into it. Because it's kind of expensive to spend this guy, and it's only a 5k swinger. These are the ones that are more important. The Anels, the Sabos, the Sanjis. You can see the power of the Sabo, though, right? Because I'm Whitebeard. 8 to 5. You know what? You can have that one. You can have that one, my man. Are these swinging? Because we don't even have to go for it. Like, I think we always should. We've got some pretty good power here. I suppose him being 8 is a touch awkward, right? And the tax. Tax making us trash a bunch of cards to play the game is a little annoying. 7 here. Is this going to be 7-7? Let me do the math here quickly. If we Usa Heartcheat down this, how many Dons do we have left? We have 7 Dons. We can swing 14 into 8. If he has the Rad Beam, though, that actually isn't even close to winning. Because you can Rad Beam up to 12, and then like 2k leader effect 1k. It's not actually that close. It's just DMG. Yeah, if he does have the... Going to 8 is kind of annoying, I can't lie. Going to 8 and having no life. Oh, okay, and an Uta. Well, we can DMG both of these. Is that a math win? If we DMG both of these... he has 3 cards. Yeah, because he's got no Dons now. That is actually a math win now. So we can put the... It's 6 Dons, 13. 10, 12... It's not a math win. Okay, it's not a math win, but it's pretty damn likely. Definitely toss this. Yeah. Okay, so say we DMG, is there anything we can do with this? That would be 7. Are we swinging 9, 9? No, it's just worse. It's just worse. So it's 13 is the swing. If we DMG down the 2 blockers, swing 13. Even if it doesn't go through, what have we got? We've got 2, 3, 4, 5k counter. We can take out the Uta. He'll have 5 swings. He might die. We might die. Although we can pay the tax to probably remove the Yamato. And then I'll only have 3, maybe even the Marco as well. Then we only have 3 swings. I think it's worth going for. But yeah, that buff on the leader is actually low-key kind of annoying. Toss. Judgment of Heli and one of the Mihawks. 13 on 8. Do you have triple 2Ks in hand? I think he's used a lot of 2Ks this game. So my instinct is no. But Lowkey, the combo of the tax beard plus going to 8 is kind of annoying. It's kind of annoying, you know. Does have that, of course. Is this double 2Ks? Oh, okay, it's not double 2Ks. GG's, well played. I'll take the win against Ace there. He did whiff the Nugate on curve, but with us drawing double DMG, I think it's kind of fine. And we also whiffed the 9-cost Zoro, so kind of a game of whiffs, I guess. Interesting game. But yeah, I definitely made a mistake with that Nami. He did end up playing the Whitebeard, so it didn't really matter. But freezing the Don as he went into his Whitebeard turn would have definitely been a really good play, and that's something I'm going to be looking out for in the future. Because that's pretty cute. So thank you for watching. Let me know, what do you think of the deck? What do you think of the games? Sorry the Ace game wasn't too great. The Aces that I was facing today, they just kind of all kept whiffing the blocker beard on curve. I don't really know. One play that did happen a few more times than I expected was the Ace players using the second effect of the I'm Whitebeard to go to 8. In that game in particular, when he comboed this with the tax beard, it was really weird because like I can't, because I didn't have enough cards to go sort of wide and swing 8s, but that also sucks. So it did make it quite awkward to go for lethal there. It was a touch risky. And we still got there in the end. It wasn't that risky. He had to have like perfect counter, but regardless, it was interesting because the first time I had someone do it against me, take the life to go to 8, I was like, he's just misplayed. This guy doesn't know what he's doing. But the second and the third time it happened, I was like, it's actually kind of annoying. Because we have a lot of, like, in that matchup, they don't play a lot of removal, so you're going to have a bunch of 6s on the board. So going to 8, yes, they lose 1 life, but Lowkey, it gets them out of, like, 3-4 attacks sometimes, so that was a little interesting. Yeah, initially I just thought they were making a strict misplay. It was kind of cute, I can't lie, I don't know. It nearly worked out for him in that game in the video. Regardless, if you are a Lim enjoyer, definitely pick up some Lim now. The deck's very underrated, I think, a little bit sleeper. And especially into Emu, I think that matchup is one of your best. Which is great, because there's not many decks that can say that. Regardless, thank you for watching, and I hope you have a lovely rest of your day.